this is actually on.
Is it?
I thought there was a battery that we'd taken out.
Is that
this is
audio
one
or
that says-
visual?
No, this is one of the hearing. Just read that. What it says on top.
Do not point at humans or hold close to a human ear. Permanent hearing damage may result.
Now, when you consider...
A dog has way more sensitive...
Well, they hear 65,000 hertz, and we hear 20.
At best.
Yes, exactly. So you can assume that this is... If it can damage a human's hearing, what does it do to your dog? That came in donated the other day. And I say people, they donate. Well, people, when they donate us, the prong collars, which we throw out. I mean, there's just, you wouldn't believe the stuff that's on the market today for animals.
Have you ever listened to, can you hear this?
No.
I don't want to even push the button.
Well, I just did. I went that way. And it's because their sensitivities, like they hear sounds that are not even audible to humans.
Right.
Right.
I know.
Like their frequency is so sensitive.
Way up there.
So if you have to put this on and say, don't point it at him. No, I'm not going to hit the button. You're okay. You're safe. Still like, come on, you trust me, right, buddy?
It's an
okay.
energy weapon.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And that's why I say, I don't even think people read half of what the package is. Somebody says, oh, just go get one of these e-collars. And half people don't even know how to use them properly.
Who are these people that say, could be anybody?
Well, yeah, we see a lot of it. And you'll see in the pet stores as well. Like the pet store employees tell me, because I tell them, when they come in for prong, tell them, no. How about the Easy Walk over here? The prong.
Did you bring in an Easy Walk?
Yes, I did. I have.
Let's see the Easy
Walk.
So
I brought a whole bunch of stuff in. Oh, there's so many items on the market. And here's the thing. Back like 30 years ago, like I grew up with Great Danes. We had big, huge dogs.
Yeah.
150, 160, 170 pounds.
Yeah.
Never used a choke collar. Never used the chain collars.
Did you have a fishing rod with the carrot in the front?
No, they're actually, our dogs are well exercised. And that's really key in a lot of these dogs.
Okay.
So people want to have a dog. When I have people often call for and we're doing interviews, they'll go, well, I like to walk. And I go, great, but the dog you're looking at likes to run.
Oh, yeah.
So are you a jogger or a walker?
Yeah.
Right? Because even if you're a walker, that's wonderful. If you do 2 walks a day or walk 5K, a lot of people say, I walk 3 and 5K. Perfect. However, your dog still needs an off-leash run because he's walking with you, but he needs to blow that energy, right?
He needs to get that heart rate up.
Absolutely, he does. So how do you do that? Well, you can find yourself fenced in area if you don't have a fenced in yard. Some of the dog parks, and you go on off times if you don't like the big. I'm not a big proponent of dog parks, but they can be very useful. And in the slower hours, there's like peak hours as in anything, right? So I know people who take their dogs who aren't good with other dogs. They just take them there, wait till the end of the night and go.
So where are the dog parks in town? I know there's one at the Countryside Arena.
That's right.
I know there's one on 2nd Avenue.
Yes, there's one in Zilda, and I don't know if there's any others. Honestly, I don't know.
So that's 3
I don't track
that we
the
know
dog
of.
parks. I'm so busy. I don't have time as they were opening. But they can be a great thing, but make sure your pets are well vaccinated.
Yeah.
Well vaccinated.
Otherwise?
Especially, certain areas of town, like 2nd Avenue, has got a lot of parvo in it.
Parvo's still a thing?
Oh, yes. Parvo is a thing all from spring to fall. Oh, spring to winter. Yeah, absolutely. So I brought in a few of these items, and I'm just going to, turn off my phone because that'll run like crazy. Okay. So I brought in different things. So first of all, what we're seeing, what I see when I go to vet offices every day, even my own, is... People get these animals. Everybody wants the big, tough breeds, big, strong breeds.
The little bullies?
Yeah, bullies, mastiffs, the big Malinois. Here's the thing. As a puppy, they don't train them properly.
So they get ruined.
So what happens is, so when you have a puppy, even if you get your basics down, you don't have to do all the fancy, agility and agility. Just get your basic obedience down, which is your sit, your stay, your walk, those sort of things. And there's multiple trainers. And we'll talk about that after, about some of the ones we recommend because we've seen the results of those dogs when we come into our spay neuter clinics. Because when we adopt out our puppies, we make recommendations and say, if you run into issues, and a lot of people feel they can do it on their own, and some have trained all their lives their own dogs. But it's always good to get even just the first basics. And price ranges, training is ridiculous. You got everything from $300 to $4,000. And you go, I'll get you a new dog. Well, do you really need a new dog? And is really somebody worth $4,000 to train your dog? Depending how problematic it is, Maybe, but be careful what you're spending out there because I think some of these guys are overinflated.
Does Caesar
And
come
I'm
to
going to
town?
get some hate mail, by the way, after this whole episode.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some really good hate mail and text.
Well,
and that's okay because I didn't get into this to make friends. I'm here for the animals to speak for them. And nothing makes me more crazier when I see a poor dog, 150 pounds, being yanked with a choke collar.
With prongs?
With
Or
prongs, and
anything?
I just love it. And I brought one for you today, actually.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we're going to try it on you, and I'll lightly tug. I will not, I promise you. I just want you to tell me how it feels, because I always say to people, if you think it's wonderful for your dog,
Yeah. And the
Try
dog
the
has a little bit
collar
of
on.
protection around the neck.
well, people, I don't know if they seem to think dogs' necks aren't like our necks. The nerves
In the dog's neck is
in
more
your
sensitive?
neck or in a dog, no, just equally the same. Their nerves. Their nerves
Really?
tendons. Their physiological makeup is very similar to ours.
Okay.
So if I pinch you on the neck, you're going to feel it. The same thing with them.
Hmm.
The same thing with them. And I'll show you pictures after of even, some of the zap collars, the burn marks, the burn
prongs?
and infection. Yes, 2 prongs sticking in, and they burned right into the skin. These 2 poor pups, it was awful. And the lady who brought them in, who said that she found them, said, well, I think they got into some fish because they smell really bad. I think they need a bath. And when I peeled off the collar and the little prongs came out,
Infection?
oh, it was rotting. His neck
Oh.
was rotting, right? And then, not to mention the infections. We've got another guy, big again, a massive mix with all the prong holes in his neck. So they have nerves right under the skin, just like you do. So if you I pinch you, it hurts.
You feel it right away.
You feel it. So does your dog. And that's why I say I'm sure 99.9% of the people who have those prong collars on their dogs have never strapped one on themselves. And I invite them to do that. So today, you've never used one.
Let's see what you have here.
There you go. We're going to get you a new necklace today.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, stainless steel. Here we go. I brought a whole bunch of them, different types. So we're going to strap one on you and see how you like it. There you go. Does not look inviting, first of
So
all.
I've seen these. No,
Yes.
not with the prongs on it.
Yes.
But
I have the other one, actually. That's a quick release, but I don't think we're going to need that because I don't think you're going to panic, are you?
well, I don't know why anyone would put this on their dog. Just looking at it.
Well, exactly. And so just to let you know,
Is it a dog
and
or
when
is
people
it-
say it's a training tool, and here's what I say. Listen, 25 years ago, we never had these. I grew up with Great Danes. You trained your dog. You didn't have these. We've become such a lazy society. It's, I just want the quick way. I just want the easy way. No, spend some time with your dog and treat them and train them properly.
I would
And-
never put this thing on my dog.
no, and dogs are looking for leadership, right from puppyhood or whether you get them as adult. They're looking for you to lead. If you don't lead, if you're a poor leader, then go get training to become a good leader, right?
Yeah.
Learn how to lead your dog, because as you lead your dog will listen. I'm going to tell you something. Those beef liver treats,
Are great.
oh my God, I call them doggy dope.
Yeah.
So when whether you get them at Costco, they have a big bag, or whether you get the pet stores, Pet Value, what happens is, even last summer, somebody snapped a picture at our office because I had 6 little puppies there.
You know what?
And all I did was grab the liver thing, and all of them went to their butts.
Whoever uses this has got to have little man syndrome. Okay.
Well, I guess so.
I don't even know why you'd.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out here how to get this on you first of all.
What's the difference between that one and this one? They look the same.
Well,
Just the
that's got
size?
a quick release on it.
Oh, so we don't want a quick release here. You just want to keep on.
I want to keep you choking. I said, we could quickly choke you if you like. They go quick release. So isn't that funny? I don't even know how to get this thing on. There it is. Is this how
But even this thing, you put it on any part of you, and you squeeze it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
So here, just
It's
put it
not
on
a good time.
And your neck has such sensitive nerves in it. So we'll just kind of, throw it on there a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you feel that on?
It's not a good day. No,
Right? I mean, just feel it.
I'm not for it.
Exactly. It doesn't feel very good, does it?
No, but
So-
you look at the depth of these things.
How deep? You
Yeah.
see the holes we've seen in the necks of our dogs.
So if
Come in.
someone's actually pulling on it, that's not good for the dog.
And I wasn't even pulling.
No,
on
that was
yours.
just on there.
That was
and-
just on there. I wasn't even pulling. Can you imagine?
No, if you're pulling and you've got tension, that's bad.
It is tension. It's terrible. And I mean, just look at this. And some people go, well, I leave the rubber things on. I don't know. I didn't see ones with rubber on these ones. But It makes no difference. Like, you're poking in. So actually, a couple of our vets now actually issue a letter stating that they feel they're starting to see thyroid problems in dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Because of these, I guess the pressure on your thyroid, and it's creating medical problems. And I'll bet you down the line, again, it's like every great product we get on the market, right? Everything's a great product until it isn't. And so we've just come on heavily strong in the market. People buying these because they're easy. They're even trainers are promoting them, which I absolutely, I always say you failed your dog the moment you strap one of these on. Now, I'm not saying that you absolutely should never use one of these, by the way.
Okay, under what case should you have
under extreme circumstances where you have
extreme circumstance?
A very aggressive dog, if you're working with aggressive behaviors. For your run-of-the-mill dog, absolutely not. And when I see it strapped on, which one trainer in town encourages right from 10 weeks old, I lose my marbles. I'm sorry, I do.
That's like whipping your little baby.
Yeah. Well, so we've moved from we always trained our dogs with encouragement, leadership, and treat motivated reward system, right? Now we want the quick, fast, easy, because that's a society we live in. And so we're now training them out of fear and anxiety. And I actually saw a dog the other day, and it really bothered me after I knew the guy who he was. And I saw his dog, and that dog was so emotionless, like it was almost like he was a little robot. And he's like this, and he's showing me how well he trained he is. Nope, he didn't have one of his collars on. He has a U-collar. He has a Zap collar.
Oh, yeah.
But, and I thought, wow, that dog has zero emotion. Like, you just see the character of the dog's not even there.
So it's like he's got Ritalin.
It's like, the poor thing is, I don't know what Ritalin is, but I mean,
I think that's the drug that brings kids down in school.
Yeah. Wow. That poor guy. I mean, I just looked at him and I felt sorry for that dog. I thought, wow, you know what? When I meet a dog and he's happy, you see his tail wag and everything. That dog was so stoic. I was like, wow. But he was kind of proud of himself because look at the way my dog's trained. Oh, great. Is your dog enjoying that? Because he don't look like he's enjoying life very much. He meets a new person, he's not even wagging his tail.
Yeah. You should be excited to see something.
Something or someone,
even
right?
Even a squirrel.
Yeah. Wow.
If he's not excited to see a squirrel.
Where people, when they say, wow, and I've said that, I am the crazy lady who's in the grocery store who tells you not to buy the bad food because I know it's going to cause blockage in your cat. I'm the crazy lady who says, please don't use this. Do you know there's some serious medical concerns over these now? And did you know you can get amazing results with a couple of other products that are much more humane? So first of all, the power of a dog is not in its neck.
Where is it?
It's in his chest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You have those big bully breeds and mastiffs, your pit bulls. Where do you think they're pulling from?
Right.
They got their little, legs, skinny legs there, digging in, and they have these big, massive chests. So where do you take the power from? Where the power is.
Okay.
The power is in the chest. So I love it. We have a couple dogs at our shelter, and I've even said to our people, I say, hey, I saw that dog walking, and he's pulling that guy over the road. Get that Easy Walk on them. So Easy Walk, to me, is one of the best products on the market. And there's different harnesses I like for different reasons. You can also look at double harnessing, like you do a harness and a Martingale collar, right? I like Martingale collars. I don't like regular collars, because they have no flex, no give, and your dog has always got a nice tight necklace on all day.
So an Easy Walk is like a strap around the neck
around
and around
the chest.
the body?
You'll see the chest. It's all pulls from the chest, and you'll see it better in this picture here.
Okay.
But you see where it's actually pulling around the chest?
Yeah, but it
redirects the power. So it gives you control over
Does it limit mobility?
No, not at all.
Okay. Because, I'm going to show you what we have for our husky is this goes around the belly.
Yep.
This goes around, so it'll be like this.
Yep.
And here's the legs, and then there's the body.
Yep.
And the actual strap, it goes here, just like in a dog collar.
You're
a
pulling
dog sled.
from the back, which is, it's like a horse, right? You're kind of pulling the reins. You're kind of like pulling back this way. And that's fine. When you're walking with the harnesses, all these are great harnesses, by the way. Like this one's great because look at the thickness and the padding.
Is that for swimming?
No, it's not a life jacket. It's a harness, silly. But anyways, these are really excellent. We love these. I get these at the shelter all the time. And you can see the padding because some of the problems with some of these are they have zero padding. And so they wear on especially with the heat we're seeing, like even one of our own dogs the other day, I caught it. I said to the girls, oh, no, pull that off. I'm always checking collars, leashes, harnesses at my place because you just get somebody who volunteer goes, oh, yeah, I'll just strap that on them. Well, that's great, but you got to be careful.
So you should get something that's
So these are good for temporary. If you're going to walk your dog for a couple hours and you're going to put on and off, but a lot of people tend to leave their harnesses on.
Yeah.
So if they do, make sure you do have one with padding. This is like, say, one at the buck store. Again, you can get a little buck store one, little leash. And these are for smaller dogs.
Yeah.
But there's no padding in here, and they're quite rough.
It's
So
too
you gotta
thin.
watch the skin under the armpits, and yeah. So and for a small dog, this is actually a good little harness.
Okay.
However, this is one that you would put on and take off.
Yeah.
You don't leave that on all the time.
Okay.
Some people leave their harnesses on full time.
Yeah.
And if you do, you better make sure you have like proper padding, right? Some of the
Right.
ones. So there's a million different designs of harnesses. One thing I want to mention about little dogs, we've
Yeah.
talked about the big dogs and why crazy people use these things. It just looks vicious. That looks like something that should be in, what do they call those people? The Matrix there, or the Dominatrix, or I don't know, the funky. But anyways, here's what we have. This is like for little dogs.
Okay.
So little dogs,
That goes around their belly?
that's right. Now, little dogs are obviously not pullers. And if they are, they're like 5-10 pounds. So they're really not
They're
an
more
issue.
like this.
They're more mouthpieces
Yeah.
than they are pullers. But these little dogs shouldn't wear collars at all.
Shouldn't wear collars? Why
No,
not?
you should always have them on a harness. Many dogs, especially the smaller breeds, have a very sensitive trachea area.
Yeah.
And so they call it collapsible trachea. So when you're walking your dog and he's like, and he starts coughing, little dogs,
Yeah.
that's your collapsible trachea. That's
Okay.
why all little dogs should be on a harness. I wouldn't even put a collar on a little dog. We just put them right on harnesses. Unless you're flight risk, then we do a collar plus a harness. So want to talk about, so we've talked about the harnesses, like Easy Walk. This is my absolute favorite.
Go-to?
Is the go-to. You can take a 150 pounder that comes in our door, because we get the lovely ones from the cops and the druggie houses, and big bulldogs just coming in full blast, and they're going to take your right shoulder out. You put one of these on,
You got control?
50% less, boom, right away.
Yeah. Okay.
They're amazing. So Easy Walk versus this. Here, let me hurt my dog and cause medical problems long term.
More money out for the owner.
I think these are actually more money, aren't they?
No.
No, but you're right. You know
for
what?
medical issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're gonna
But
pay.
even just the cost, these actually cost more than this. So why would you pay more to hurt your dog? And I said, I know I'm going to get a whole lot of backlash on this, and I really don't care, because I see what this does.
Yeah.
I watch people, how they use them. And again, if you have an extreme situation with a trainer, and its trainer, has showed you how to use it with an extreme dog. But for the run-of-the-mill dog, your border collies, your
This is like the fentanyl of
absolutely the drug world, right? It's a
Of
killer.
dog collars.
It's a killer. So so Easy Walk is way better than any of this garbage, and I think they should be off the market.
Easy
I'd love to
Walk,
see them
I
banned.
see that it pulls from the front
Yes.
of the dog.
Yep,
That's
and
not
there's-
an issue.
Nope, because that's where his power's in his chest. There's where you're pulling from.
So, but if he's in front of you, if the dog
He's not going to be in front of you. If
not
he's in front of you, you're already in trouble.
Oh,
Your dog should always be beside you or behind you,
okay.
right?
Beside
and then
or
we caught
behind.
you. Are you sure?
Oh, our dog's always ahead of time.
And that's fine. And as long as he's not pulling your arm off.
No,
Because he's obviously, he's kind of pressing his limits. He's leading a little bit.
but yeah. So when we walk our dog, she's always in front until she gets distracted by something. Then it's
Squirrel.
like, okay, tug, and away we go again.
That's right. And a light tug. So when you mention that,
Yeah.
when you're walking your dog, just a light tug always, and if
That's
you're
it.
turning
I
in a
just do, like-
direction, it shows that you're leading, and they'll respect that.
Right.
They will follow you.
I usually give 2 tugs like fishing.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Just like a little tug,
2
tug.
tugs and then she's on her way again.
Absolutely.
But she wants to be out front,
Yeah, and
just
that's
sniffing
fine.
the path.
I always let mine, like when I had dogs, I have them on half my time I'd take them in the field to run them loose. But when we did them on leash, I like the retractables.
Oh, yeah.
And it gives them leeway. But you have to have a pretty good trained dog. That's not a one that you just throw your 150 pounder on and let him pull you down the road. It's quite the scene. Anyways, right? But the retractables are excellent. And I love them because they give dogs that chance to go down in the ditches and learn their, have their little exploring time. But then there's their walk time, which is like, you're by my side, you're close to me, and I'm in control of you. Right. But you don't need to be like choking the dog on the way, or that famous zapper that says, please don't point at a human. So if it hurts a human's hearing and the dog's hearing is 4 times more sensitive, what does that tell you you're doing to your dog?
They've got the...
Right? Like, people just have to be smart. And there's lots of videos online to talk about these things. And I mean, like everything, there's ones that are for and ones that are against. But my vets, they're vets. They see the physical part of it. And they say, those can be dangerous. Like,
So if your dog is deaf in his older life because
there
he was
you
a
go.
wild one,
because you're too lazy to buy a proper apparatus for your dog. And sometimes it's just lack of education. And that's why I brought all this stuff, because even people use these. This is called gentle leader. Again, it's from the snout. It's like the horse, right? Pulls the motion down into the chest and out, pulling that way. So I'm okay with these. The only thing is you got to watch, because a lot of these dogs, depending how long and the heat, you got to watch the wear that you get on their snouts.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I like the chest one, just because it's less wear on a specific point in the nose. I can see dogs that wear this, and you'll see this one, like some have padding now, thank God, but they used to just have the strap. They just have the single strap, that'll wear on their little noses.
Real easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of skin.
No,
it's
not a lot
thin.
of fur in their noses.
It's really thin.
Exactly. And so it's just about being humane. There are so many humane options to get the same result as this little baby without having to choke or zap your dog. Just start looking at alternatives. Think outside the box.
Spend time with your dog.
Spend time with your dog.
animal.
Exactly. And so here's another thing. When we have dogs, like you see how your harness is up off the back, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes people say, well, he still kind of pulls even with the harness. So Martingale collars are awesome, because when your dog's wearing it at home, it's a nice loose necklace. When he's out walking, this tightens up. See how it tightens up there? You have the extra space, and then when he starts to pull.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what we recommend to people when they say, well, I have the Martingale and I have the harness, I say do a double leash. Gives you double control. So you have one leash on the collar, one leash on the harness.
Okay.
And the two of those give you extra control.
So you can pull a little bit if you need to.
Extra control.
Why?
And again, usually it should be on the leash one. It should always be a couple of tugs to redirect.
Why would you need to tighten it up? Under what situations? Like you have the normal leash, which is fixed, but then you have the variable.
Yeah.
Under what conditions would you need to use the variable leash?
Well, it's not a variable. They're both solid leashes.
No, I know that.
But, it just gives you extra overall control. Sometimes it's the weight of a dog. I have a young lady who got very upset with me because I declined her on an adoption. She has a 150-pound dog that wears a prong collar.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I'm sorry.
One of these?
And she weighs 125 pounds about. And I thought, lady, you have a dog bigger than you, so now you choke them because you can't handle them. Right? So she was looking for one of our big dogs. Well, sure enough, a few months later, I get sent a picture by one of our office people who say, check this out. There she is, another 150-pound dog, another choke collar. Because she goes, no, if you give me a PetSave dog, I wouldn't use it out of respect. And no, you won't. People lie to us every day of the week to get what they want. We know that. And I'm like, no, if you think it's okay for your dog to be in that state now. And I said, you're buying dogs that are too big for you. Why should you, and that's what it is, these big bullies, these big mastiffs. I see people 125 pounds with their 150-pound dog. And they've got these choke collars. They go, well, it's the only way I can control them. I go, then you got the wrong dog.
Yeah.
How about you get something a little bit smaller than you? Leave that for the 250-pound man that can maybe handle his dog, right? Or have the husband do that. But like I say, it's people's, it's very, people have to think through the process. Get the right dog. Get the right tools. And you can do it humanely. You can train your dogs humanely. You don't need to choke and zap them. One guy said, well, I just do it because of the property lines. And I go, well, then walk your dog and teach him, go to obedience and learn about perimeter training, right? There's so much access. And like I say, I really like, my vet commented on a couple of dogs that came into our clinic recently for our spay neuter. They come back when they're of age to get spayed or neutered. They went out as puppies. And my vet commented on 2 dogs one week that came throughout the week. And she said, these are the 2 best trained dogs I've ever seen as a puppy at those ages at 6.5 months. So I asked both people where they got the training.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, because I never really recommended them, was Lively District Kennel Club.
Oh, yeah.
No hefty tools. Their prices are incredible.
Yeah.
And they produce good dogs. So
at 6.5 months old.
6.5 months old, my vet commented on how well trained those dogs were.
So I think it's the vet's commenting that really says something.
And I had one show up that was totally out of control. And I said, that dog needs to be more under control, and we're going to monitor that. So I recommended, and she went and got one right away. And Easy Walk, I said, I'm telling you, you're battling. These are solid dogs. Everybody loves a cute bully mix, but with bully mix comes bully power.
Yeah.
And so you need to take that power out of their chest, not their necks. Leave the necks alone. Like say they're seeing thyroid problems, and now some are even talking about possible neuro connections. We need to do more studies to see, what these tools are actually doing to our pets. So do it the humane way. There's plenty of great products on the market that you don't need to use those two products. You don't.
So let's talk about the smoke quickly.
Yes, one more thing.
One more.
Leashes. I love these leashes. They have an extra handle. These
yeah.
are awesome. So that when you say you let your dog go on your walk,
Yeah.
there's times where she should be near you, and I'm sure you'd rope her back in.
Yeah, just
And that's So these are awesome leashes when you get the second handle. We have them at PetSave. We have the nice long ones for our dog walkers, and they just give that extra control, especially when there's multiple dogs walking.
so you can just hold your dog right beside you.
And you should always have your hand like this in your leash. We get people come like this, and the problem is when you're dog walking and the squirrel, we have some prey drive out there, and boom, it's out of your fingers. Whereas when it's like this, you have a solid pull on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like when you're mountain climbing.
Yeah. So, like I say, harnesses, small dogs use harnesses, don't use collars because of it's called collapsible trachea, and it's a real condition in small dogs. And then, like I say, these ones are nice when you get the padding in them, like the one you have.
Yeah.
Because just think if you were, the wear on the skin when you're out walking on that, especially in the heat. Yes.
Two things.
Yes.
We have a little bit of feedback from the community.
Okay.
Let's go with that one first.
Sure.
Okay, I'm just going to read it.
And by the way, I don't always have good feedback because some people may not always agree with me.
Yeah.
I always say, come work a day or spend some time with us.
That's what I was thinking.
Absolutely. Spend some time with us and you'll understand fully why we do the things the way we do. If everybody was a great pet owner, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I'd be enjoying my life.
Yeah, I think
Right?
if more people get involved, then they'll actually see what's going on and they can help change things or do things.
Yes.
This thing said, or the feedback was, and they're referring to the dogs in the northern communities.
Yes.
Okay. The dogs up there are not meant to be living in urban houses. Stop spreading wrong information by creating a sense of fear and emergency. Yes, they need food, but not thrown away from their landscape and freedom. You seem to be creating more problems by overcrowding shelters and forcing folks into taking dogs in for a few days, etc. So much stress on the animals. Furthermore, bring water, bring food, but leave them in their environment. The dogs will not be happy stuck in homes or apartments. Organize spray and neuter clinics up in the communities by organizing fly-in vet crews for a week kind of thing. Stop displacing. And finally, make sure...
So, sorry, they're encouraged, they want to see more spay neuter clinics up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with them more.
And
We'd
also
love to leave them up there.
Make sure that Jill involves residents of the communities. Don't barge in there without the consent of the community leaders and members.
We never do. So anytime we have engagement with the First Nation community, they've asked for the help. We do not just go into a community. First of all, you're not allowed to. That's against the law. It's their property, their land.
Yeah.
So we engage. There are always an amazing group of people in every First Nation community that want to see change. They want to see bylaws put in so their children are safe. The amount of dog bites on First Nation communities is staggering. There are maulings and bitings constantly, thousands. They're recorded. So we only act as an assistance to those communities and only the ones who want it.
Yeah.
We have communities that I think have been problematic and it's horrible what's going on in them, but I don't get involved because we're not invited. But when they call me, I say, well, I'm willing to work with you, but here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because they can't just call you when they want you to solve one problem when there's a whole bigger picture of a problem because we're paying the bills.
Everything costs.
And if I leave all those animals in the landscape, shooting culls will be done regularly, and that's inhumane. And often the dogs are actually not shot and die.
They're wounded
and suffer.
Yeah.
And so I don't believe any human being, I don't care where you live, has a right to injure a dog and leave it for dead. If you don't know how to properly euthanize or shoot a dog, you shouldn't be doing it. So I appreciate their feedback. And not all people in a community want to see rescues come in. We establish good relationships with the ones we deal with. And they are on my phone. I can't tell you how many calls I have this week to fly animals out of Northern Ontario. It's a huge expense. They're calling because those animals are injured and have no access to vet care. These people are human. They love animals. They care about the pets. They want to send them out to get the help. So I have more flying again and again this week. We don't just go up there and solicit dogs to come down. I have a waiting list of calls. I can only get so many down. I can only pay so much money. It's millions of dollars that we've spent in First Nation communities to try and help them. And they do need, because it's for the safety of their communities.
Yeah. The kids.
I mean, if you see the dog attacks, that's the justification for shooting culls. We want to end culls, and we're saying we can end them with you. We can work with you. And a lot of people generationally are starting to say, okay, the newer generation is saying, listen, we really care for our animals. They're good people. They love their animals. They want to see good change come. They can't do it alone because they're way up north. They have no access, so they need to partner with a rescue, a clinic, somebody to come help them. And by us, when I say about Saskatchewan, and we'll talk about that right now, in March, when they started evacuating in January, they were told, put all your pets outside because there was nobody there to be able to go house to house to look after them.
Yeah.
That's impossible. So their best chance was to be put out on the land, in their environment. However, a lot froze to death, starved to death. And so there was emergency steps put in. The community reached out to see what can we do to help them in their situation. We provide food. I sent up a vet to vaccinate so we didn't end up with a mass parvo outbreak. I don't know if that person with feedback has ever seen a dog die of parvo, but it's horrible.
Yeah.
So I sent a vet up, and it cost $32,000 to do two things. One, vaccinate the pets so that we didn't have the outbreak, because now these guys are communal. So there's high risk for parvo there. The other thing is, with no medical care to be had for them. So if they got sick, it's bad. So the other thing is we implanted, we had the vets implant the dogs with a chip that would leave them sterile, causes sterilization for up to 6 months, buying us time for either the residents to come home and come back to their dogs, or to make a plan to assist to help them evacuate the rest of the dogs. It's their choice. I only go up with what's requested of us.
Yeah.
I do not barge into, as I said, a community and say, hi, I'm going to take over your dogs. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, you got to
First of all, I have people lined up, like more calls than more demand than I can even reach.
Yeah.
I have 2 this morning on the line this morning from Manitoulin Island.
That need help, but you can't get to them because they're on the list, but they're just...
There's too many dogs. Everybody's bred too many dogs. There's too many dogs. I can only do so much. And we adopt every day, and we take in every day, and we do a lot in our own community. So I used to be able to go get 40, 50 dogs and bring them in because that's what the community wanted them removed, or they were going to have a shooting cull. So they're starting to look at the humane, and First Nations communities are going, hey, if we've got options now to spay and neuter to reduce our populations, why not? If we have options to get off excess dogs, as they're called community dogs, if we have time, if we have ability to get those community dogs off here before we get dog bites and dog fights, then we're going to do that. So they're working with us. They've requested, I have 2 already this morning. I get them every day.
The list is growing.
I can't keep up to that list.
So how's the
we're not barging in anywhere.
How's the wildfires and that going to help with the overall situation?
So here I reached out this week to the groups in Northern Ontario. There's multiple rescues that deal with, like every rescue has kind of a clique of groups or a section of the province that they deal with. And so in the area where the forest fires are, I called Erin from Northern Reach. I've shared all her posts. I've said, listen, I can't help you. What I can do, she's calling out for rescues in Southern Ontario, middle to Southern Ontario, because they have millions in population to absorb those numbers. I can no longer do that. So I've said, listen, I can't help you there. But unless they have something severe injured or a very risky dog that is probably not going to get placed in the south, then I'll take it. Outside of that, whether it's temporary placement they're looking for some of these animals to be returned to their homes, which I know there's a portion of that number. There's 2 different groups here acting right now. So there's a group of remove our dogs and we'd like to connect with them after the evacuation, right? There's also people who say we have excess dogs and there's no owners for those dogs, or we'd like to surrender our dog because we feel that's the best option at this point. They've been forced into this because of the wildfires. Then either any of those are at play right now. Erin's group, along with other groups, are working in the north to evacuate them. I have only offered to pay boarding for up to 25 dogs for several days at a time as they evacuate, because they have to come down 17. Those dogs will have to come through Thunder Bay. They'll have to come down through Sudbury.
That's a long road.
It is. And so let's stop in the middle. And I've said, listen, here's my offer. I can also ship you food. Hill Science Diet called me this morning saying, just checking in. They're our sponsor. amazing company. They have saved me tens of thousands of dollars per year in food. We have a hefty food bill, as you can imagine. You're feeding 400 animals on a daily basis. You know what it costs to feed one, times it out by 400.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy. Oh, it's crazy numbers. My accountant was having a stroke one year. She called and said, "Oh my God, what's happening?" I go, "The numbers are going up," because she thought there was a mistake in the food bill. I wish there was, but there wasn't. So we get an amazing partnership and with Hills, and we're one of the very lucky. Only 5 charities in Canada have it. And they called me this morning and said, "Hey, we know you got wildfires going up there. What can we do? We have an emergency relief program." And I said, "Let me get back to you. Ship me some food." I talked to the northern groups and said, "Do you need food?" My company is the food company I deal with, Hills Science Side, is willing to give that food to ship up to wherever, whether it's going to be Foster's, whether it's going to be our dogs that we end up with, whatever's coming down the line, they're there to help us out. This is how you actually achieve success in anything. You cannot do it alone in rescue. It takes an army of people and a whole lot of money. So you need to have both. And so this is everybody banding together from food companies. Pet Values have come forward. There's programs in place to help with these emergencies. So those are all just kind of in the works right now. We'll see what ends in the next couple of days. I said, when your chaos is settled, let me know what you need.
Well, for all of you, if you want to help out, and if you can help out, Jill at PetSave, 692-3319. Lend us your time.
Thank you.